transformation of just how they stepped in to how they carry themselves now and the authority that they have now. Every time they step up, I just like, my heart swells because they're like a little sister to me, and I just feel like, wow, this is, just if there was a before and after, it's just insane. So I just want to say her heart is huge, her heart is gentle, but she has so much force behind her. So please give a warm welcome to Devany.
It's all the mommies.
Nice fit out.
I was not planning on going first. That's okay. All right. I have a lot to say in very, very, very little time, so I just want to kind of start.
You got this.
I'm going to start by honoring. I want to honor Pastors Jurgen and Leanne. I want to honor Pastor Tom and Myra. I want to honor my supervisors, Pastor Jesse and Andessa. I want to honor my team because their motivation really helped when I was writing this preach. And then I want to honor all of you guys because you are my family and I love all of you so much. All right, so I'm going to start with this story. During one of the mission trips when we were going to Arizona for the Dream Center, I was in the front of one of the cars. There was 4 of us, and we were playing this icebreaker card game that one of the people had brought. I'm not going to share names because Anyway, so one of the questions we got was, what's more important, justice or forgiveness? And I was like, oh wow, this is so easy, and we're all in church, we're all going to have the same answer. We did not all have the same answer. In fact, I was the only one that had my answer. 2 of the people said it depends on the situation if justice or forgiveness is more important, and one person said it was justice. And then that person got so upset that I chose forgiveness over justice.
Let's go.
Yeah. So with that said, the title of my message is There is Justice in Forgiving.
Oh, come on, fire.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with
Mercy.
Yeah, so the parable of the unforgiving servant. I'm gonna read, paraphrase, and then read.
Yeah.
So then Peter came to him and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Up to 7 times? Jesus said to him, I do not say to you up to 7 times, but up to 70 times 7.
Whoa.
And then we all know the king says, or the story Jesus goes into is about the king, and he had the servant, and the servant was like, I don't have the king wanted his money, and the servant didn't have it. And he said, have mercy on me, and the king had mercy on him. And then the servant went and found a guy who owed him less money and threw him in jail for not paying him. And when the king found out about it, the king got really upset and threw him in jail because he said, like, I had mercy for you. Why did you not have mercy for this person who asked you for it? So then at the end of the parable, Jesus says, so my heavenly Father also will do to you if each So my heavenly Father also will do to you if each of you from his heart does not forgive his brothers his trespasses. Okay? So my first, I have 3 points. Oh, I lied. Skip that. Okay, so I'm going to go into definition of forgiveness. So according to Oxford Languages, forgive means to stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone for an offense, flaw, or mistake, or to cancel, like to cancel a debt. Okay, so my first point is going to be vengeance is mine, Deuteronomy 32:35. So I started off with a question: how can you have justice if you have unforgiveness in your heart? You can't, because you just can't. I'll get into it. So justice is used in many ways throughout the Bible. Overall, I think a good biblical definition of justice is to make right. So in this article written by Santa Clara University, the very first paragraph says justice means giving each person what he or she deserves, or in more traditional terms, giving each person his or her due. You skip to the next paragraph, it starts with saying, when people differ over what they believe should be given, or when decisions have to be made about who benefits and burdens should be distributed among a group of people, questions of justice or fairness inevitably arise. And then the next paragraph. But saying that justice is giving each person what he or she deserves does not take us very far. How do we determine what people deserve? What criteria, what principles should we use to determine what is due to this or that person? For us, we know that it's biblical, but in the world, that's not how they see it. Yeah. And oftentimes, the human mind, they go directly to wanting to take vengeance, which is not ours to give, which is why that's the name of this point. It's not ours to give, it's God's.
Yeah.
And so that's my number one reason why forgiveness is more important than justice, and that there is justice in forgiving. Okay, point number 2, forgive us our debts, Matthew 6:12. So we ask God to forgive us not because we aren't already forgiven, but because we need to know that we're forgiven. And there's power when we come to God saying, God, I made a mistake, and allowing him into that area. Because if not, if we don't ask for that and we don't allow him in that area, it's gonna build up, festering, and then.
You're good. Finish your point. You're good.
So I have found when I don't ask for forgiveness, I end up getting self-resentment. I find that I am unable and almost unwilling to let God or other people into that aspect. So self-forgiveness is really important, but having God in that is even more important than that. And then I'll end it with my third point since I don't actually have time to get into it. But the third point is, freely you have received, freely give, Matthew 10:8. And I will end there.